Chuck turned to stare at Wilbur, who was standing in front of him, and thought, well, if you want to embarrass me, I'll take care of you first, then leave to find Yvette. Hey, are you angry? Wilbur continued to taunt Chuck. Wilbur felt even more smug and satisfied. He had come here to show off and win the women over. Now that he has found Chuck, a potential punching bag for him, how could he let go of this opportunity? I can't believe you're angry at this one joke. Bro, just let loose when you're out to have some fun. You can't be like this. Chuck did not say anything, but continued to glare at him silently, and the room instantly fell silent. The atmosphere suddenly felt heavier in the room, especially between Wilbur and Chuck. Zelda's eyebrows were already knotted together tightly as she said, Wilbur Wendell, enough is enough. Wilbur shrugged and feigned ignorance. I'm doing this for his own good. I mean, how can one car be enough for his use? He doesn't need you to tell him to buy a car, Zelda retorted coldly. I already said, it's for his own good. If he doesn't want to buy it, then don't. Besides, if he can't even afford a car worth $2 million, how dare he come here? Zelda Main, you really have a bad taste in men. After being criticized by Zelda several times, Wilbur couldn't help but feel embarrassed and snapped back at her rudely. Chuck was still silent. He looked once more at his phone that was vibrating furiously in his hand. It was a message from Charlotte Yales, who was asking when he would drop by to pick his car. Chuck just happened to need a car urgently. He quickly sent over the address of the place he was at and asked Charlotte to send the car over. After instructing Charlotte, he finally asked, how much does your Cayenne cost? Didn't I say before? It's less than $2 million. You want to buy it? No problem, I know a friend and he can give you a discount. Wilbur sneered. Zelda came over and tried to assure him, Chuck, don't argue with him. Your car is good enough, don't waste your money to buy another car. Thank you. I know what to do. Chuck smiled and said calmly. Zelda was stunned by his rationality. Maybe she was too worried about him. Quincy also looked at Chuck curiously, trying to guess what was up his sleeve. What do you think? If you want to buy it, I can call my friend now. Just pay a deposit of $300,000 and you can get the car tomorrow. Wilbur teased. He actually didn't have a friend like that. If he managed to convince Chuck to buy the car, he would manage to reel in at least $50,000 as the middleman. Otherwise, he wouldn't have bothered. Okay, but it's unfair if I buy it and you don't, Chuck smiled innocently. I already have one. Do you want me to buy the same one? Wilbur frowned. What was Chuck trying to do? Nope, similarly I also happen to have a friend who sells cars. I can let her introduce a car to you. Since you have high standards, why don't you buy the same car as mine? What do you think? Chuck asked. I didn't say that I wanted to buy a car. Wilbur's expression hardened. Although his family was affluent, he had been begging his father to buy this Cayenne for a long time. In addition, he already had a total of 4 race cars that cost over several $100,000 a month. How could his father buy him a new BMW 7 Series when he just got his Cayenne last month? A BMW 7 Series can definitely match your class. Why don't we both buy a new car together? Didn't you say I have to deposit $300,000 to you first? I'll transfer it to you now, and I'll come find you to pick up that new Cayenne tomorrow. Chuck took out his mobile phone and prepared to send the money to him. You're mistaken. I didn't say that I wanted to buy a car. Wilbur was annoyed. How could he not see that Chuck was trying to sweet-talk him into buying a new car? He was trying to drag himself down with him. You're not buying it. I'm afraid it's not a good idea. My friend's on the way, in fact, she'll be here soon. She's looking forward to it, do you want her to leave in disappointment? Chuck shook his head in disapproval. I'll say it again. I'm not buying a car. Wilbur glared at Chuck. You put it in such a nice way when you asked me to buy a car just now, so I thought you could buy a car it will too. Yet, you're backing off now when I've decided to buy the car and invited you to join me. Don't you feel that's unfair to me?" Chuck continued pressuring him. Zelda chuckled, and all the other pretty ladies, including Quincy Lowy, laughed. Wilbur could only glare at Chuck, a fire burning in his eyes. "You don't even know about the Cayenne, you're just faking your wealth. Fine, let's see if you can really take out $300,000 out just like that." "Of course. You can transfer $300,000 to me now." Wilbur sneered and took out his mobile phone. Zelda was worried. Was Chuck really going to transfer $300,000 to Wilbur as deposit? Chuck unlocked and swiped his phone. He immediately entered a series of numbers, and then the password. The whole process was less than 30 seconds. Ding! Wilbur's phone rang with a notification coming in, as he frowned and clicked on it suspiciously. He was immediately shocked and froze on his spot, face burning up like the hot sun. Zelda was taken aback. Chuck really bought it. Quincy and the others also felt that Chuck had gone a little overboard. How can he buy a Cayenne that costs nearly $2 million in just a few minutes? His family definitely owns a mine. "Since the money has been transferred into your account, where should I go to pick it up tomorrow?" Chuck asked curiously. Wilbur's expression was contorted nastily. He really didn't expect Chuck to transfer $300,000 to him so quickly. The whole process was so fast that it had taken him aback. Does that mean that he also needed to buy a BMW 7 Series now? How could he afford it? Wilbur's brain throbbed. What has he done to himself? The Porsche Canter. Wilbur squeezed out the words from his mouth unwillingly. "Oh, thank you then. I will go find you early in the morning tomorrow. My friend is reaching soon, you can give her a deposit of $300,000 later. That will be fine, right?" Chuck smiled at him modestly. "No problem." Wilbur could only grit his teeth in anger. He regretted his actions. Why did he even think of provoke Chuck? His pocket money was $150,000 per month, and after taking away his savings was only around $70,000 to $80,000. Still, it was not enough for a BMW 7 Series. For now, he could only use Chuck's deposit of $300,000 to pay first. But the more he thought about it, the more he despaired. He could settle $300,000 first, but how about the rest that amounted to $2 million? He was on the verge of breaking down. He didn't dare to ask his father for money at all. Borrowing was out of the option, since although his friends all owned a lot of cars, but they were much poorer than him. He had spent $70,000 or $80,000 savings, but that was all. How could he deal with $2 million? He couldn't borrow it from anyone. At the same time, Chuck Cannon's cell phone rang, showing a message from Charlotte Yale saying that she had arrived. He asked her to come up, and she agreed. "My friend is coming," he announced. Wilbur glared at Chuck Cannon, but Chuck only shrugged. True enough, Charlotte quickly pushed open the door of the private room. She wasn't wearing a uniform, but instead a short dress and a t-shirt, which showed off her hot figure. Her waist was slim and quaint, complementing her long legs underneath. Wilbur didn't have the mood to appreciate beautiful women anymore. He was in big trouble now. "Mr. Cannon, these are the keys to your car, it's parked below." Charlotte came over and whispered. She had never been here before, but she knew that this place was posh. Chuck Cannon took over the car keys while Zelda's eyes twinkled. Quincy could not help but whisper to the other ladies, "It's really the car keys to the BMW 7 Series." His car was really under repairs, as he said. Who are Chuck Cannon's parents? They are too rich. He just bought a BMW 7 Series, and now he's buying a Cayenne. What in the world? "Sir, I'll go back first," Charlotte said. This kind of high-end place made her a little uncomfortable. "Wait a minute." Chuck stopped her. Wilbur raised his hand and wanted to stop Chuck Cannon. However, since Zelda and the other beautiful women were here, he really couldn't say it. "Is there anything else I can do for you, sir?" Charlotte asked curiously. "It's not a big deal. One of my friends is interested in buying a BMW 7 Series like mine," Chuck said. "What?" Charlotte was shocked. After all, Chuck Cannon had only bought his car a few days ago. She had already had her fair share of glory the very first day she was at work. Since then, it's been only a few days. Was she going to sell off another BMW 7 Series again? If she really did, it would definitely cause an uproar in the store. "Sir, are you joking?" Charlotte tried to dismiss Chuck's statement in doubt. "No, I'm not. Here's my friend. Bro, you can transfer the money now." Chuck signaled at Wilbur. Wilbur gritted his teeth and said, "Miss, I'll transfer it to you now." "Come on, give her your WeChat," Chuck teased, a smile forming on his face. Charlotte came to her senses and realized that they weren't really joking. Chuck Cannon actually managed to strike another deal for her. "Ah, please wait a minute." Charlotte immediately unlocked her mobile phone. Wilbur's hands were shaking as he was transferring the money. What was he going to do about the rest of the money? "Thank you. My name is Charlotte Yales. May I know your surname, sir?" Charlotte asked Wilbur politely. "Wendell." Wilbur's face was already as red as a tomato. "Well, Mr. Wendell, look for me in the store tomorrow. We have ready stock available for you," Charlotte said. "Sure." Wilbur glared at Chuck, his eyes spitting fire. If looks could kill, Chuck would already be long dead by now. Chuck Cannon ignored him and instead told Zelda that he had to leave as he had something to do. He had to go to Yvette Jordan's side. Zelda smiled and agreed. Before leaving with Charlotte Yales, he also bade Quincy Lowy and the other gorgeous women goodbye and walked out of the place. Wilbur clenched his fists and used an excuse to follow Chuck out. Unwillingly, he called out for Chuck, "Bro, I have something to tell you."